My fiancé fell for the girl who saved his life, a mute, and now he wants to call off our engagement. I offered him some advice. The Holt family isn't easy to get into. She might want to think it over. The girl took offense and poisoned herself. 10 years later, after taking over the Holt group, Nick's first order of business was to ruin my family and come for my life. This is what you owe Ella. I open my eyes again and find myself back at my 23rd birthday party. Mr. Theodore Holt asks what my birthday wish is. If Nick Jr. and Ella truly love each other, then let's make them the perfect match. Miss, is your headache acting up again? There was no icy basement, no howling wind. Instead, the room was warm, the sounds of laughter and music filling the air. Neon lights flickered outside, with cars streaming down the streets below. I was standing on the balcony of the Lexington Grand Hotel, looking out over the city that never sleeps. It was my 23rd birthday party. I'd come back to life. Not only was I alive and well, but I was 5 years in the past. This was the year the Jensen Group completed a major international merger and went public. And this was the year I hadn't yet become Nick's wife. Oh, what a headache. Behind me I heard a bitter whisper. Nick Jr. has been on every major media channel for 3 days straight, declaring that he wants to cancel his engagement with the Jensen family. I stopped Rachel, my assistant, from responding. This was more than just canceling an engagement. This was the year Nick had been in a car accident while visiting a rural project, and a local girl had saved him after he fell off a cliff. The girl was delicate and beautiful, and in her desperation to help him, she'd eaten an herb that damaged her voice. Nick had been so moved that he'd brought her back to the Holt mansion. For 3 days he'd been making public statements. He was going to marry her, only her. He was determined to make her the future Mrs. Holt, wife of the Holt Group's CEO. Miss, don't believe all that nonsense. You and Nick Jr. have known each other since childhood. All these years of friendship. I shook my head, gently refusing Rachel's comfort. I knew exactly what she was going to say. 3 days ago, I'd woken up at the Jensen estate. 3 days was all I needed to piece together everything, both past and present. Miss, Rachel said softly, looking excited. Nick Jr. just arrived. I turned and saw Nick approaching, wearing a crisp suit and surrounded by a crowd. The whispers around us went silent in an instant. Nick and I had grown up together. Our engagement had been arranged early on by our families to cement our business alliance. Anytime someone spoke ill of me, he was the first to stand up for me. Anytime he got into trouble at home, I'd be the first to help smooth things over for him. Until now, everyone had assumed I was Nick's only love, the future Mrs. Holt, without question. Yet here, at my 23rd birthday party, he brought another woman with him. Ella Snow was draped in a fancy dress and perfectly made up, though it looked like she was wearing someone else's skin. She clung to Nick's arm, practically hiding behind him for protection. Nick leaned down and whispered something to her, his eyes filled with affection. Ella looked at me, her expression quickly shifting to one of uneasy fear. She stepped forward. With a soft thud, she dropped to her knees in front of me. How familiar this scene was. Even the tear at the corner of her eye ready to fall was the same. In my previous life, her frail, helpless look had deceived me. I'd actually been willing to help her and Nick figure things out. As a Jensen heiress, I certainly didn't need Nick. Yes, her presence had stung, but it hadn't made me lose my composure. When Nick wanted to break off our engagement, I didn't cause a scene. Out of respect for our history, I sincerely offered him a few words of advice. Miss Snow is new in Lexington and has lost her voice. Even though